everyone, I'm so excited. I'm celebrating my 1 year YouTube anniversary, and I'm going to be doing a series of videos this week for the celebration. So for today's video, I wanted to focus on stenciling. I had gotten these 3 new stencils in from Clarity Stamp. They're the Clarity Stencils. And I wanted to use a couple of different methods and paper or cardstock. So this first one that I'm taping down is actually going to be watercolor paper. And I was laying this down. I kind of wanted it off-centered. I wasn't sure really at this point if I was going to cover the entire thing, but you'll see how it goes along. So with stenciling, as I've told you guys before, it's very important that you work quickly, only because you don't want the paste or whatever it is you're using to harden up on you. It makes it very difficult for you to clean off your tools if you let it dry. So what I did was, like, even while making the video, I had a pan off to the side that I had filled with sudsy water, so that way as soon as I was done working on one, I could just drop it into the water, so that way I didn't have to keep pausing and going to the sink, because in my craft room I don't have a sink. So once I spread it out evenly and I have it looking the way that I want, anything that's extra on my palette, I just scrape it right back into the container. And for the palette knife that we're using, I just got a baby wipe to clean it off, because we're going to be going to another, stencil and a different medium too. So I just wanted to be able to keep going. So we're just going to drop that down in the water, and then we're going to pull this up so it can dry. I like sharing these videos with you guys, showing the stencils and stuff like that. But what I realized is I really should do it the day before, so that way I have one that's already dry, so I could do like the cooking shows and be like, oh look, the magic of, movie making. I have one already completed. But alas, I did not. So we're going to move on to the black paper. And on this one, I wanted to use, I have the Bo Bunny glitter paste, and this one is colored rose gold. And on this one, I think I'm going to start with the circles first. And what's really cool with the circles is inside the back, there's actually the, what would that be, like the negative or the positive, whichever one it is. But they give you 3 different size circles. So you could actually lay those down, color around them, and it would have the reverse effect. Very interesting. So my plan for this one, I was thinking that the circles would come down and kind of curve to the right. I didn't tape this one down only because I thought that, I might be able to move it around and add circles. And it kind of worked in the beginning, but by the time I'm done with this one, I'm going to wind up having a huge, mistake happen. And actually, the one mistake happened off camera, so I wind up throwing this one away because it wasn't salvageable. Now right there, I could have stopped right there, and I probably should have stopped right there, because realizing I just put this down, by laying this down, see how it made it like smudgy there in the middle, and I really wasn't liking that. And I thought, well, let me try and lay it down one more area so I can just get a few more circles, maybe some that look good, that I can, salvage what I've done, because the first part, it was looking exactly how I wanted it to go. So it was working really well. Now I will tell you this, with these stencils, or any stencil that you use, you go and put them in the water, the sudsy water, and there's still gonna be like glitter residue on them. It doesn't hurt your stencil. It just, I find like even using a brush to, you know, clean it under soapy water after I was all done, there were still spots where I had glitter. So you just gotta, you know, bear with it. But the main thing is that most of the glitter paste is off of it, and it's, you know, not gonna ruin your next project. So now I'm gonna get a baby wipe to clean off my mat. Love this mat, and I'm so thankful that I remember to use it, because a lot of times I keep it off to the side and I go in to start doing these type of projects and I totally forget to grab it. So I was prepared this time. So now for the third and final piece, we're going to stick with the glitter paste. I'm just going to tape down the paper real quick, and on this one we're going to use the clocks. It's the Clockwork Stencil. And for this one, it was another one of those things where I was just going to do a certain side, and you'll see, like, I move this around, play with it like over and over and over again, because I'm trying to figure out where exactly am I going to lay this down. And it kind of, I didn't think about it, but it was like my stencil's round, my paper square. I don't know how I thought this was going to work, but anyway. We're going to just tape this down, and I tape down the stencil on all four sides, and I find when I tape it, you know, down on the four sides, the cardstock underneath doesn't really move on me. If you have any issues, you can try and tape it down. I don't like how that looks on the edge of the paper, so my suggestion would be just to cut yourself a piece a little bit larger than what you need, so that way you can tape it down and know that, you know, it's going to look okay when you go to take it apart. So now we're just going to spread the glitter paste. And this was actually a little different this time, because when I opened my jar of glitter paste, it was a little separated. It looked like the glue part of it was like sitting on top, but I just mixed it up and it went right back into its consistency, and I think it made for some really pretty cards. And I like how it didn't go all the way to the edge and it was kind of choppy. I liked how that turned out. Now I will say this was thicker cardstock, and the amount of paste that I put on there, it did make it curl, but the main thing was just to let it dry, because eventually it did flatten out again once it was completely dry. So we're going to set that off to the side, and then grab another baby wipe and clean that up. And if you don't have one of these craft mats, I highly suggest that you get it. They are so nice, because like anything that you put down on it, it cleans up so well. Now on the very first one that we did with the embossing paste, I wanted to use a Prima Color Bloom. Now this is one of the older ones that was gifted to me by my friend Leda, and it was, I've never used it before, but I've always been interested. So at first I didn't realize that it had the different settings where it was like more splatter, and I was like, okay, well this isn't spraying the way that I want it. It helps to read directions, that's all I'm saying. So once it starts going on, I decided I want to use my tissue to kind of spray and then pat to move some of the color around. And I'm just layering the color slowly all over, you know, the front of the card here. I'm trying to see if with the light, if you can get the shimmer, because the really cool thing about this one is, it's called, the color is tea stain, but it's vintage metal, so it has a really pretty shine to it. I really love it. And so I sprayed it up at the top, and then I have it where the water and the stain is like dripping down, so it gets all into the cracks and stuff. And then I just took my tissue to like grab some of the excess water on the bottom. So here are the finished cards, what I did with the pieces that, you know, I kept. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. It was really a lot of fun. It was a little messy, but it was fun. And I'm so excited to share this 1-year anniversary with you all. I hope you enjoy the videos for this week. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you're not already a subby, and please share. And I will look forward to seeing you guys with tomorrow's video. Now, tomorrow's video will stay with Scrapbooking with Me Boutique, the members room. It's going to still be our Technique Tuesday video. Alright, so I'll see you guys tomorrow.